Calling Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Frager.
You found Let's Talk with Dr. Stan Frager. Dr. Stan Frager is standing by to give you insight on issues that matter most to you. Call now, 571-0970.
Hi, and welcome. Always nice to have you with us. I'm psychologist Dr. Stan Frager, and every Sunday night, it's our time together. It's been great, and Kim Atchley's with us, co-author of When Your Aging Parent Needs Care, and professor therapist Dr. Eli Karam is with us tonight. And by the way, Tony does such a great job. Tony Spina on our website, www.frager.com. All kinds of good information about Kim's book, as well as about Dr. Karam and how to reach him and so forth, his website. All of that's up there, and we thank Tony for doing that. And we thank Branhart Vixen, our webmaster, who you heard some commercials tonight for him, and this keeps us right smoking with our website. So that's all great. Let's go to the phones. And Louise, hi. It's Dr. Stan.
Hi, Dr. Frager. I have a question. I guess maybe it's for Kim, but how do you know when a parent is ready to be or should be moving into an assisted living facility? What are some of the signs?
So she's saying, what are some of the signs? When do you know that you need to say, hey, parents, I know I promised you I never was going to take you out of the house, but you know what? We just can't deal with everything right now. We need to go into assisted living.
Yeah, how do you kind of introduce even the subject?
Are you there, Kim?
I'm there. I was having trouble hearing her question, but I heard your restatement of it. And a lot of that discussion can happen when mobility becomes an issue.
Okay.
That's often a key if there's any kind of instability in walking, a need for assistance. That's a good time to say, hey, I'm not sure those stairs in the house are going to be the best way for you to be getting around. It may happen before then, but usually there's a trigger point for the discussion. You may also, in advance of that, if you are, say there's a geography challenge, you can say, hey, we live pretty far away, and what are the backup plans you have for if you should have a health crisis? I'm not sure your home environment is going to be safe for you. That's the most proactive thing, is say, hey, what do you think, rather than, Mom, it's time to move.
Right.
It's looking ahead. But if it gets to that point where you have some serious concerns, looking again at it as an empowerment point rather than a judgment call is often helpful. And you look at it as, hey, I know you like to go to your bridge every day, but I'm seeing a problem with the stairs. Is there an issue here that we can work with?
Yeah, in my experience,
start
too.
the dialogues.
In my experience, too, it is data-driven in the way that if there have been incidents like a fall or an accident or something around the house, you use that, as Kim was saying, as a trigger point to start that dialogue. But you also can frame, these assisted living communities have a lot of amenities, not only social outlets, but ways to stay engaged in life that you might not be if you're living on your own and having a hard time living on your own. So I don't think assisted living facilities have the negative stigma that they used to have anymore. I think it could actually add to the purpose of that aging person and can give them more than they ever thought. But if they're not familiar with them, they wouldn't know that.
Yeah,
that's an excellent point.
Yeah, this Dr. Frager, I was going to add to that. Very often, well-meaning adult children will tell their parents, Mom, Dad, I'm always going to take care of you. And Mom or Dad, who at that time are very mobile, they're doing fine, their health is in reasonable shape, they're saying, look, promise me you'll never put me in one of those retirement. It's interesting, one of our major sponsors, by the way, is the Brook at the Farm, which is a beautiful assisted living, by the way, incredible in all levels of care. But the parents are doing well, and you were well-intended at the time, and they're saying, promise me you're not going to make me leave this house that I've lived in for 30 years. And at that time, you're saying, I promise you, Mom, I'll take care of your dad, because you're able to, and they're able to function. And then it gets to be where you just can't take care of them. Their medical needs are too great, the physical needs, every aspect of it. And so you feel like you're going back on your word, but really the whole situation has changed.
Right. And I'm also...
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely. And when you think about your whole book about what will we leave behind and getting your affairs in order, when we think of that thing, it's not just the physical things. It's not just the assets, the money, the possessions. It's also kind of this life story. When you went through this process of writing the book, how do you tell people how to start constructing their life narrative? What will you leave behind? This notion of generativity, what do we want people to remember us for? And how do you start doing that when you're also taking stock of your life and putting your affairs in order?
Well, a lot of people start with journaling. I know that I had given my parents, actually my dad, a book that honestly I can't remember the title. It was a journal. It was, I believe, A Father's Legacy. And it was a journal that prompted memories with just little questions. And it had a place to write. And I said, Dad, I would love for you to work on this. And I just did. I gave it to him, and after he died, we found it, and he had filled out a good bit of it, and it was memories. Well, when we did that, then Mom said, oh, I have memories I want to put down for you. And so we had these big screen on her computer, magnification and everything to still help her, and to be able to use her computer. And she would write down memories she had. And it was a fun way for her to feel she was leaving a legacy for us that we might not otherwise have had. And it's a tremendous gift now.
Yep, and I know my brother-in-law, who passed recently, and at a relatively young age, but from pancreatic cancer. And my nephews recorded like 4 hours of dialogue with him about his memories. And what a great treasure, to leave behind for your children.
Either written or videos, and people are making videos for their children and their grandchildren. That's amazing.
Yeah.
What a gift.
And it was a great gift.
And that's a great use for gray space. Get the tough stuff out of the way. Handle it so you have time to do these things, which are treasures.
And Louise, thank you for calling, and we'll be sending you a complimentary copy of Kim's book, When Your Aging Parent Needs Care.
Yes, this is the information you gave me here. I've been writing down, taking notes. It's been very helpful. Thank you so much. Now keep listening.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
And by the way, Kim, I know you have a blog, www.whentheagingneedcare.blogspot.com. Kate, let's get Tony to be sure and put that up on our website. It's called whentheagingneedcare.blogspot.com. What do you put on when you're blogging? What do you put there?
Well, these are little ideas, vignettes that come from the people I interact with. I had started a blog on the book website, but repurposed it into one that you've just given. So what it is they're small topics, little nuggets to get people thinking. Perhaps it's a tip. It may be an event that spurred some ideas of ways to keep seniors active and involved. Practical hints.
Super. Well, we'll get that up at Frager.com, and you can check it out. We'll have a link right there for you so you can blog with Kim. And we'll take a little bit of a break. The lines are open, 571-0970. Put you
970 WGTK.
My eyes have seen the years and the slow parade of fears without prize. Now I want to understand, Doctor.
And tonight we're talking the second hour with Professor Eli Karam, and President-elect of our Kentucky Association of Marriage and Family Therapists, and Kim Atchley. We had a couple last questions for you, Kim, and I know that these tips have been very helpful for folks.
It's been great, Kim. We might have some listeners out there, and they might either be divorced or never have married or maybe don't have children. So if I am aging and I'm thinking about putting my affairs in order and taking stock of my life, but I don't necessarily have a ready-made support network, what do I do?
Well, that's when you look at who your most trusted, life partners are. Whether it might be a niece or a nephew, if it's a neighbor or a friend, you might want to look at their health issues first, making sure that they're not being as challenged as you are if it comes to being your backup. But you also will find extended family members and other people in your community. Sometimes it is your neighbor. In some of the cases with long-distance caregiving, a neighbor can be the first line of that support network, then connecting to children or other extended relatives.
So just because I don't have a child doesn't mean I have to go at this alone as far as putting my affairs in order?
Oh, absolutely not. We just look to the people we're closest to that we feel comfortable sharing these sort of personal details about life with.
Right. Can you talk a little bit about, too, and a lot of the work I do with clients is helping them forgive, to let go, to make amends, to let go of a lot of these things that they've held on to from years that have stopped them getting support from their loved ones. How much of that is a part of getting your affairs in order?
Honestly, that is a key, a huge key, because unless you can deal with the baggage you carry, you have no place to put the future goals and plans you have. You have to talk about the issues, get it out in the open, let some air into those things you shut away, because oftentimes it's our perception of those issues over time. It's like that old telephone game. The message gets changed from person to person. Well, the message gets changed year to year. So how you remember an incident that caused you trauma may be different than the person involved in the trauma. And so when you sit back and talk about it and open those doors, you say, wow, I didn't remember it that way. And you start a dialogue and you say, wow, it wasn't that big after all. Or if it was huge, you find a place of reconciliation within yourself, even if it can't be with that person that caused the problem.
Well, Kim, it was great having you with us, and thank you so much. Good luck with your book. I know what you're doing, and it's really a ministry for you. It's really terrific, and it's helping a lot of people.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being with my Sunday Night family. Bye-bye.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Okay. Bye-bye. And, of course, Dr. Karam, I know you're at our University of Louisville Kent School of Social Work, just got a $4.8 million grant. You're a part of that.
I am. I'm a co-PI with Dr. Anita Barbie and Becky
Well, now,
Antle.
co-PI, folks don't know what that means.
Yes.
Co-principal investigator.
Correct. Yes, I'll be doing, we'll be helping a lot of people in the youth in Louisville around pregnancy prevention. It'll be great over the next 5 years, and working with a lot of foster youth and refugee youth, so populations that don't often get represented.
Well, and I know that I saw Dr. Barbie's interview on television, and you hope to reduce teenage pregnancy by 50%. That's awfully ambitious.
It is ambitious. Kentucky actually has a very high pregnancy rate, and we're also going to teach them about healthy relationships. It's a dual focus. It's not it is a primary prevention program where we'll teach them about how to be in a good relationship, which leads to staying out of trouble.
That sounds great. Well, lots of good luck. It's great work that you all are doing. Please pass on my congratulations.
I will.
To our colleagues.
Always good to see you, Stan.
Good to see you. And that's Dr. Eli Karam. And again, all that information is on our website. Check out the great job that Tony Safina does for us at www.frager.com. I want to thank Tom Mitchell, who's been operating that board. Thank you, Tommy. Kate Shawansky, #1 radio producer in America, right there. And Dustin Alsey, who handles our Facebook, and you can check that out as well. Debbie Ramsey from Salem Radio, who does a super job helping us, and Brian Hart-Vixen, who makes that Frager.com all work. So it's a lot of folks put their talents and efforts together on Sunday nights to make it something special. Dr. Karam, what's the first thing you're going to do with this big grant?
First thing we're going to do is go and find some great people in the community in West Louisville to help us train these teenagers. So now that's what we want to do. So if you wanted more information about that, you're interested in working with teenagers, you check out the website too.
Well, that's great. And by the way, we want to pass on our good wishes to Colonel Renee Finnegan, who just recently retired after almost 30 years of service to our country. Has a few health challenges. Want her to know that our thoughts and prayers are with her. Get well soon. And it's always great to have you with us on Sunday nights. It's a very special time, and I think the things we talked about tonight, very important issues. And I hope it's making your life a little bit easier, a little bit better. And until next Sunday night, I'm Dr. Stan Frager. Take care.